would like to welcome you to the first of these experimental chats with the chorus, which we are going to be calling Home is Where the Art Is. And it's giving you a chance to meet the chorus, find out a little bit about who they are while they're all at home and not working at the Opera House at the moment. So my first guest, the inaugural chat, is with Ding Bell, who is the longest serving chorus member of the Royal Opera House. So it's really nice to see you, Ding. How you doing?
Hi, Katy. Lovely to see you.
And we're just going to chat, and you can tell everybody a little bit about you, a bit about your life at the Opera House, and how about we kick off with you telling me what your first day was like?
Right. My first day was in August 1978, long time ago. And the chorus were on holiday. It was during the summer holidays. And 4 new choruses, there were 4 of us joined at the same time. So we had to come in for 3 weeks of rep calls before the chorus started back.
Oh, crikey.
So, and it was quite fun. Having to learn Bohème. I think it was Meister Singer, Götterdämmerung with a quartet.
Oh,
so you know, it's like U2. But we did. I think we did about 5 operas, lent the rep for the first 5 operas, and then I didn't meet the chorus until they came back after the summer break, and it was quite a shock because they were a lot older than I. I mean, I was 23 when I joined.
Oh, you were a baby.
Baby, and the chorus room at that time was, if you go to the back of the stage now, and the old theatre, the back of the stage, there were dressing rooms. On the very top floor, there was one big room, and it was used for costumes, whatever. But that was the chorus music rehearsal room. So everyone went up there and sat in a semicircle with piano in the middle, the chorus master. Women at that time, they all wore hats and gloves and coats. It was unbelievable.
What, for the rehearsals?
Yeah.
Oh, how brilliant!
And the gents chorus, most of the men wore suits and jackets, and then I turned up in a pair of denim jeans and a t-shirt and felt a little bit sort of out of it. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I did my audition for Colin Davis, he said, "How would you feel about working with a chorus who are much older than you?" And I sort of thought, well, it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, it wasn't, but it just was a shock to the system. You know, I mean, it turned out.
Were they lovely to you when you turned up?
They were. There was quite. I mean, I think in the section there were a couple of older baritones, basses. Well, I joined as a bass then. Who, I don't know. They just sort of thought, oh, this new blood coming into the chorus is going to be Footlight Fanny and all the usual things, you know.
Yeah.
But it didn't turn out that way. No, very soon I became accepted, and I knew a couple of people anyway. I knew a tenor who was with Scottish Opera Chorus, and I knew Elizabeth Sikora.
Lovely, yeah.
So she was in the chorus. So I quickly made friends. Yeah, it was good.
Fantastic. So what was the actual first performance that you ever did on the stage?
Very first performance I did on stage was Götterdämmerung.
Okay.
And it was probably the best production of the Ring Cycle that I think I've ever been in. It was a Götz Friedrich production. And I mean, we've done about 5 Ring Cycles since then, and it was still the best one.
And what made it the best one?
Well, it was just, they could only do the Ring Cycle in these days. They did it probably once every 2 years. And it had to be done at the beginning of the season because they had to take the whole stage out. And this production was probably one of the first, if not the first, hydraulic sets that the Opera House ever had. So they had to put a complete hydraulic stage, a bit like what we have in the Ring Cycle now, but the whole stage was hydraulics. And it just either went up and it separated, and it was just an amazing, amazing production and fantastic cast.
So did it go wrong at all? Because we know we have trouble with hydraulics sometimes these days, don't we?
I mean, it was quite frightening because it went up at a really steep angle either way, from the front of the audience looking up or going the opposite way. And Gwyneth Jones, who was Brunhilde, I mean, she was in complete tight leather costume with like 6-inch heels and had to stand on this platform. She looked stunning with this massive white hair. She was the only one that was terrified, and it worked for us. I don't know whether that production particularly went wrong, but I mean, things happen. The audience don't know. We just have to accept it,
and we get on with it.
and we get on with it. And we can have a laugh.
Yeah, and they never see what happens when we're covering things up.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
So as far as sort of costumes and that sort of thing, how has that changed over the years, do you think? Because you must have worn a real variety of things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I first, the very first production, well, I did the old Lucia with John Sutherland, and I was put in a costume, and it dated from God knows when, but it was written in the back of it was the Italian Opera Company, which probably was like 1890 or 90. I mean, it's just ancient old costume, period costume.
Yeah.
And lots of the production, quite a lot of the productions were quite old. The costumes were heavy. I mean, unlike now, where it's sort of, off a rail costumes from, whatever, Oxfam or whatever. I mean, a lot of the costumes were made in the Opera House and were stunning.
Were they more uncomfortable to wear if they were heavy, though? Do you prefer?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nicer to have something a bit lighter, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that at one point the chorus refused to do. It might have been Lohengrin, which Darren did that production of Lohengrin. Yeah. It was the first thing he did. At one point, we had like 6 layers of costumes, and it was wool. The stage was covered in snow. Some of the men had to wear chainmail and like metal helmets or hold them. And when it came back for various revivals, they said, well, we're not going to do it unless you sort of do something about the costumes. So I mean, eventually people took layers off. It wasn't major, but they were heavy.
For a long show, though, that's quite difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still one of my favourites musically. It's great.
Really? So would you say is that in your top 5?
That's my top 5, yeah. Definitely.
What would the other things be in your top 5? As far as just for the opera and for the music factor, what would be your top 5?
For the opera and the music factor, Peter Grimes.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. André Chenier, which was one of my favourite operas on record when I was at college. And when we did it, I did a production of it when I first came to Covent Garden, and then the one we do now. And I just absolutely love the music. And any of the Puccini operas. Oh. I mean, I love Butterfly, but there's no baritones at basses in Butterfly.
That's a bit of a sadness. But at least you could get to go and watch it instead of being...
Oh, yeah. And Rosenkavalier.
Rosenkavalier. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a lasting memory of a production of Rosenkavalier at the Opera House that you would say was the best that you've been in, or there was a favourite?
The one that we did before the present one, which was designed by Maria Bjornsson. I think she did the costumes for it. It was stunning. Really, really good production. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and amazing casts like Agnes Balza, Barbara Bonney, Kiri.
Oh, okay. Well, that definitely leads me to the next question, which is who is the most famous person you've shared that stage with? Because there's going to be a few.
Well, there's going to be a few. Top of the list, Joan Sutherland.
Joan Sutherland. Okay. Right. Is she really tall?
She was. She's amazing. She had really, really sort of broad shoulders. And I mean, it was amazing. The voice was amazing because I think I did 3 revivals of Lucia, and she was no chicken, but the voice, the technique and the voice was stunning. What used to amaze me is that she'd come to the front of the stage and she'd sing, and her head tilted back, so she sang almost like singing to the gods. And I thought, how can she sing like that? But that was the way she sort of sang.
And it was gold every time, imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, the audience just absolutely went wild. And Pavarotti, everyone's got to say Pavarotti. Loved the sound. Didn't particularly like the man. Okay. That might be edited. I mean, out of the three tenors, Pavarotti, Domingo, and was it Carreras? Yeah. The nicest was Jose and Domingo. They were 2 really friendly, and Domingo, when he still comes, he's friendly to the chorus. Carreras was a gent. He was just, great team player and just good for a laugh. Yeah.
Nice.
But there was a whole string of Franey.
there aren't that many people in the chorus who can say that they've been on stage with all those people. So that's quite an achievement, really, isn't it? And they'll be talking. I'm sure they were talking about you in all their interviews as well.
Oh, yeah.
So who's the best chorister you've ever been on the stage with? Definitely Ding.
That guy called Tinkerbell or Ding or whatever.
Yeah. So we were talking about repertoire and favourite repertoire, like the Puccini's, which is always something that tugs on the heartstrings, definitely personally. Can you remember the first time that you ever cried in the house?
I think it was not on stage. It wasn't on stage. It was in the wings watching Franey.
Really?
In Bohème in Act 3 when she, in the old production, when she used to hide behind the cart.
Yeah.
And then when she had Rodolfo and Marcello talking about her, and she burst out crying. Oh,
and that set you off.
Oh, I remember that we'd done a rehearsal. It was a stage. I think it was a stage and orchestra, and Keith Jones, who was a great mate of mine in the chorus, we stood in the wings in the prompt corner, the old prompt corner, which is the other side, and absolutely blubbered.
Lost it.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you ever felt like that in a curtain call? At the end of like a really amazing performance, you know, getting a fantastic reaction from the audience, and has it ever made you feel like that to stand there and
stand there? I mean, it like one of the questions that we're going to ask is like the first curtain call was just amazing. It was Goethe Dämmerung, so it was Colin Davis conducting,
wow.
fantastic Wagner conducting, and the cast coming on, and all the Wagnerites in the audience were just. I mean, the noise is just unbelievable. You get it, you know, when you're downstage and you're almost right at the cross arch, and you get that huge wall of sound.
Yeah.
You know, which happens more nowadays than it used to, apart from when we had big singers, you know, the divas.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think people are more appreciative now and the audiences have changed. You know, you've got a young.
Do you think they've lost their inhibitions a little bit in the audience now? So
I think so.
More communication from them than you used to.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we're now getting a different audience, different generation. You know, the people that came to see all the Wagners. I mean, what 30 years ago? They're not here anymore. You know, so you've got a new audience of Wagner anoraks. Things like that.
They're a special crew, aren't they?
A special crew, yeah.
As far as the new generation, how important do you think it is that we're sort of reaching out to them now? Because we need to find a new audience for what we're doing, and you've had a very long career in the chorus where you've sung to thousands of people who, like you say, some will not be here anymore, you know, and I would love to be able to get to the end of my career in the chorus having sung to thousands of people as well. But there's a worry that the younger generation are not as engaged with it. How do you feel about
that? Well, I mean, we have, you know, education going out, you know, and we've got big live screen relays. I don't know how successful that is, but it's a great idea. I mean, maybe because of, you know, the lockdown, maybe people will start looking at the arts and thinking, wow, this is fantastic, as opposed to thinking, oh, let's go and see Bohème that's in the cinema. No, I don't really want to because it's in the cinema, it's not live stage. But in actual fact, lots of the productions look better in cinema because they can do close-ups.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, something that we might do and we think was crap can look stunning on the cinema and on screen.
We have got new technology available to us. It's working for our benefit, I think, in the long run, probably.
In the long run, but I think it's going to take a long time.
You can't compare it to actually being in the theatre, though, can you?
No, there's nothing to be sort of live theatre, no.
And on the subject of things going wrong and that sort of stuff, can you tell us a funny story that you remember of something going wrong?
Yeah.
He says yes. I've got 20 million stories.
No, well, I've got three that sort of stay in the back of my mind. The first one was in a production of Dutchman.
Right.
And my dear friend who's no longer here, Keith Jones, was a tenor on the chorus at the time, and Darren will know this as well. That there's a false cue when the whole chorus have to sing a vacket of, and then there's a pause.
Yep.
And then we come in again. Well, in this production, the whole chorus were almost down front of the stage, looking at the ghost ship, which was the audience.
Yep.
And it came to vacket of, and this voice came in on his own in the pause, and everybody was facing the audience, and we
But you couldn't hide it.
I mean, and he had such a distinctive voice. We knew who it was. And one of the ladies in the chorus, one of the older ladies in the chorus, she actually ran off stage because she wet herself. She said, "No." She said, "Angel boy, I've got to go. I've wet myself." And we owned it. And the conductor was just, I think it was Doc Yanni who was conducting it. He was just absolutely, I mean, it was
Can't
quite,
imagine what the face was like.
yeah.
Not impressed.
And then in another production of Götterdämmerung, when the ladies chorus come on for your great big bit that you do, and
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, the ladies chorus in this production, they were all dressed like waitresses, black dresses with white aprons, and they all had like sort of identical bob wigs.
Right.
And at one point, everybody on the stage had to collapse. I don't know what, I think it was a Richard Jones production. We all collapsed on stage, and then we had to get back up. And the ladies were all in the middle of the stage in a line. And as they got up, one lady, who I shall remain nameless, her wig had come off when she fell down, and she put her wig quickly back on, and she put it on back to front. So she was the only one in the lineup. I mean, a hairstyle similar to yours.
What, like this?
Yeah.
But you got that bit instead.
She had that bit in the front. And the whole, I mean, we were just absolutely hysterical.
But we live for those moments, don't we, really?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we need laughter, and I remember from when I started way back, there was an older guy in the chorus, and I used to just observe him. He was fantastic. His stagecraft was amazing, and he taught me how to laugh on stage without anyone else knowing it,
Oh, you need those tips?
You need these,
those are valuable tips.
You just make a remark and just amazing.
And do you think that you managed to pass those things on to other members of the chorus that have joined over the years?
I don't know. There's been little tips on, I mean, I got an email from or a message from Lou, what's her name in the chorus?
Lou Armit.
Yeah, saying, just sort of wishing me luck, and she said, I'll really miss you standing in the wings and shouting chorus go, which was something we used to have, stage management, we always saying chorus go. So when I'm automatically, when it gets to an opera and I know where the entrance chorus go, I mean, it's just certain things that just sort of, automatic sort of stick in your mind. Share them. I mean, that's it,
As well as the great operas, the great productions, and the building itself, you'll miss your colleagues, I imagine.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of colleagues over the years. 40 years. If I was to look at a program when I first started, half the chorus aren't here anymore. But I've made, we had characters way back 40 years ago. We've got characters now. I mean, people keep saying it's not the same as the chorus is not what it used to be. Life changes. We've got so many different characters now, and we have what we need. We need more is laughter. It's not a stressful job, but you just need that to break the tension again and have a bit more, just lighten up.
Well, it's quite a heavy workload, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I think nowadays the workload is a lot heavier, because way back when I joined the building, we only had the stage, and we had a rehearsal venue in the East End of London, which was an old converted cinema, where we did, like, the next production, we rehearsed there before it came on stage. So we only had 2 platforms, really. We couldn't rehearse anywhere else. We did rent out to or go to the Welsh Institute to do smaller operas and things like that. But we didn't do as many operas then. And, and the chorus, for the chorus nowadays, we're down to what's our full-time numbers now?
It's 48 now for.
Well, when I first joined, we were nearly 72 full-time.
Gosh.
Which, when they all sang,
That's.
it was an amazing. It was an amazing sound. Not all the time, but that allows you. But you've got 72, but you can have a lot of passengers.
Yeah.
When the numbers we have now, no one can afford to be a passenger. Everyone has to pull the weight. So it can be. Yeah, you're different. Yeah, but we make a good sound.
What would you say was the best piece of advice anyone ever gave you joining the business, or maybe joining the ROH specifically? But what was the one thing that you would say that really made sense to me and it really helped?
I don't know whether I really got advice, Katy. I think, I remember when I was offered the job, people saying, "Don't stay any longer than 2 years."
Well, you didn't take that bit of advice.
Well, exactly. I think quite a lot of people did join the chorus and maybe stayed for a couple of years and moved on, used it as a sort of, just to leave or to and move on to the career. But I think, it's such a big competitive world outside there for singers. And if you can get a job in the chorus, and you have to be committed to it, it's a mind frame. I just love it. I have no ambitions had no great ambitions of becoming a soloist.
No.
I didn't mind doing the odd bit of freelance work, concerts, oratorios, leader, but I loved the chorus job. And
you did a few little step outs over the years as well.
Yeah.
Little parts and covers and things.
And that's fine, Yeah. I enjoy doing that. But that's you take on the chorus job, and I think you need to seriously think about it. Is this what I want to do? You're getting paid for something you enjoy doing. You should.
We're lucky.
We're lucky. And it's not particularly stressful. You don't have to go back home, and you have no homework, unless you might have to look at words and things. But you can leave. You can't really leave everything as you leave the building, because you end up going home and it takes 2 or 3 hours to sort of unwind. And as I said to William in an email, for the last month I've been going to bed sleeping and not having opera choruses going through my head. It's great.
There's a bit of space in there now for other things.
Yeah, I'm not singing in my sleep,
I'm sure Pat's delighted about that now.
Just up with his snoring, yeah.
What do you think is going to be your enduring memory of the place? Because obviously, what some of our listeners may not know is that yesterday would have been your last show at the Opera House, which is very sad for all of us. But I think from what you've said about it, it's the right time for you. So what will you take with you into your retirement?
Oh, just a whole load of wonderful memories, and working with a great team of choristers, wardrobe, stage crew, best stage crew in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orchestra, fantastic. Just having worked with the best, put it that way.
And you were one of them, Dave.
Oh, you didn't have to say that.
Yeah, I'm here. And I think that really nicely wraps up the chat for today. It's been really nice talking to you. And I really wish that it had been in person, but I know that we'll see each other again soon, because you'll come back and you'll have you'll dust off the chords one more time.
I need to come back and say goodbye. Yeah.
Exactly. Great.
I mean, it's going to be difficult, but it's got to be done.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Cheers, Katy. Thanks very much. God bless.
God bless you.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye.